Welcome to the Pop-Off with Gene FitzMagic and friends. Your daily sports and entertainment radio show, live all over the world. You're going to want to hear what these guys have to say. With their hot takes, recaps, previews, and predictions, sometimes these guys might get along, but most times, they won't. So see what happens when these guys pop off about the world of sports and entertainment.
What's up, everybody? It is Friday, so happy Friday. It is the Pop-Off. It is June 9th, and I'm joined by Nigel Downer, Joey D, and my man Caleeb Pinkett. What's up, fellas?
Yo.
What's happening?
A good game we can go over, and some big sporting events this weekend, and some big breaking news. We broke some big news. We discussed PGA, and we got some big news now in the soccer world, so we'll talk about that. Guys, should we start with the basketball? Do we start with the football, or do we start with the UFC? Do we start with UFC since it's a big weekend?
You can.
Let's start with the UFC. I can't speak. Amanda Nunes and Aldana. Is how big of a fight is this? I know it's a makeup for the original Juliana Pena. Let us know what you think about this one.
I think it's going to be an amazing fight. See, if you don't watch the UFC, you don't recognize Aldana's name, right? So you won't know, and you feel like, right? But no, Aldana can fight. Like she's good on the ground. Her striking is insane. She's tall. She's a lot taller than Amanda, and her reach is out there. But let me tell you, a lot of the Mexican UFC fighters, MMA is just a new thing. So these fighters were training in boxing first, right? Yep. So their stand-up game is way advanced because it's boxing. So Aldana's going to challenge Amanda with it. You know what I mean? And Amanda has more power, but I think Aldana is a better boxer. So it's going to make it interesting. I think it's a great fight. Aldana has more than a shot to win. Will she? That's another thing. I think if Amanda stays fluid, where she's not just trying to knock her out and sticking with the striking. That's how you get beat when somebody can match it. It's understanding. Let's take her down. Time to go up and down. Leg kicks, all of that, working it in. I think it'll be a good one, but I think Amanda takes it and still. You know what I mean?
Let me ask you a question with Amanda Nunes, because she has been just so prolific. Would you put her up against throughout the history of women's UFC? Would you put her up against anybody that's came out?
Absolutely. She's the GOAT. She's the greatest to ever do it. There's
pound for pound, she could beat anybody that's ever came before her.
Everybody in their prime. There's no female fighter in the history of the UFC in their prime that could beat Amanda Nunes in her prime. Nobody. Not even close. Don't even have a shot.
What's your expectation for this fight? I know you think it's going to be a good one, but obviously you think Nunes is going to take the lead or take the win.
I think Amanda should win. But see, Aldana's hungry. Amanda's done everything. Amanda was talking about retiring. See, Once you're in that space and you got a dog in there who wants to fight, who's ready to quote unquote die, as they say, man, sometimes you're like, you know what? I'm too rich for this. Somebody get me up out of here. Help! Ref!
Well, it's got the makings of someone where you can, it's got the makings for where you can catch her asleep at the wheel a little bit, right? Like she was supposed to catch somebody else.
With Juliana Pena.
Yeah.
Amanda was like, all right, let me just beat this girl. Gone in here, and Juliana ended up beating her. You know what I mean? And Juliana, and nobody thought she had a shot against Amanda. Nobody. And she went in there and tapped her out. Not only beat, but submitted her, which is a whole other thing. That's like saying uncle. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, But Amanda came back and gave her what they call the business, a 2-piece with a biscuit. Wah, wah, wah. You know what I'm saying? Like it was a great, but Amanda was ready that time. But it takes sometimes when you're that great, you need somebody to get you hungry again. You need that loss to get you back because you're just not inspired. It's like, you know what I mean? It's like Draymond Green. He was like, with the Warriors, he was like, man, we don't even play until after the season doesn't matter till after the All-Star game, right? Yeah. That's what happens when you're used to winning. He's like, nah, we don't care. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like that. So it's going to be interesting. She's got a hard fight with Aldana because Aldana is hungry. He hasn't accomplished anything. This is a golden ticket. This is the opportunity of a lifetime. You know what I mean? She's probably listening to Eminem. Lose yourself in the moon. You know what I mean?
Has Aldana and Pena before?
Like that.
Has Aldana and Pena ever fought before?
Huh?
Has Aldana and Pena ever fought before?
No, I don't think so.
So that would be if Aldana comes out and shocks the world and beats Nunes, that would be the next logical fight. Would be them two, no?
No, Amanda.
Nunes would get a
immediate rematch.
But if she can prevail,
if Aldana wins again, Amanda would retire, and her next fight would be against Juliana Pena for the belt.
It's going to be a good one, man. And I'll tell you what, even if Nunes loses, I can't see her losing 2 in a row. And maybe that's just because of knowing how good Nunes is. I would imagine if they had the rematch, she'd only just take her belt back.
Well, it's seemingly that way, but you never know. You never know. It's different in that cage. I'm telling you, man, that octagon is a whole different beast. And you got to be locked in emotionally, spiritually, and physically. And if there's a bit of, I don't know if I want to do this anymore, you're getting tore up because you're dealing with wolves. They've never eaten before. That golden belt is everything. That changes their life forever. So you're the person that's stopping them from their dream they've had since they were 6. You know what I mean? Yeah. Not literally, but you get my point.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah, man. It's rough. That's what happened with my boy Connor. It's like, ugh. You know, I just made $100 million. Do I really want to go in there and let them elbow me in my face? Especially when girls think I'm cute.
Once the hunger wears, and it's not about it's about the money at that point.
Well, it's just when you make enough money. Because, see, the UFC fighters, they don't get paid like boxers. Boxers make more money than them. You got to be a big-time name or a champion to start making that money. That's why it's so hungry. They're happy to get the $50,000 bonus fight of the night. They're like, I'm fighting for that. Like, 50 grand? Could you imagine, hey, Mayweather, we're going to give you 50 grand if you get 50? What? Like,
he has 50 grand laying in this couch somewhere.
Yeah, so that shows you the levels and the difference and also the hunger.
Yep.
If you think 50 grand, you like, I need 50 grand, you're going to kill that woman to get to that. To get $1 million, just 1 million. Forget 100 million in one night. Just $1 million. Half a million, 500 grand. Like, they're like, that is like huge. You know what I mean? So that's the difference.
All right. And now let's bring it to the top men's card of the night, which we talked a little bit earlier before the show. What's your take on this one?
Whew. Charlie Olives and Danush. Listen,
love those tags.
Danush is all ground, ground, right? Like his ground game is exquisite, and so is Charles. Charles' submission game is insane. That Brazilian jiu-jitsu that he practices, it's nasty. He just can't mess with the Russian wrestlers because that Khabib stuff is a whole different level, and that's what Islam Makhachev knows, and that's the champion. But outside of that, it's going to be good. Striking-wise, there's no competition. Danush has to get Charles on the ground. That's his best shot. But Charles can submit you from his back. And if you understand what I mean, if you watch UFC submissions from the back, that means that dude is like Nate Diaz in his prime would go down, lay on his back, and do this. Like, a dude does that, you're like, ref, stand him up. Because he wants you on top of him, man. But I've seen Oliveira tap people from the back. It's gonna be a really, really technically sound ground fight because Danush can't handle it on the feet. No way. So the winner goes on to fight. You said Islam Makhachev for the belt. See, Islam already beat Charles, and he obliterated Charles. Yeah. And what I mean by that, on the ground, I'm telling you that could be that Dagestani wrestling style. Man, it's the best in the UFC right now. Nobody has an answer for it. And Charles already lost to him, but Charles is like, I want it back. I want that. Okay, cool. He deserves it, but he's got to beat Danush. And Danush just wants his shot. He's never been a champion.
Hungry.
Yeah, exactly. That's why that fight's going to be good.
I'll tell you what, Nigel, I think you could take Danush.
Yeah, duh.
Tell us
like, I was just waiting for somebody to say that. I mean, let's go.
Russian technique, who cares, right? But before we go any further, I got to ask you because I can't tell what that hat is from the distance.
Oh, listen, I'm throwing in a little bit of Canadiana for y'all. This is the the infamous Toronto Argonauts of the CFL, the Canadian Football League, right here.
Okay.
You got the 100th Grey Cup, which they won, which was right here in Toronto, which I was at attendance at. It's a fullback, really? So you got the CFL logo right there. This is the old school logo too. It's not the new one, it's the old school logo. And this the season just started. So as you know, the caps I wear, it's always a reason. The CFL season just started this week. This is week 1. Toronto plays Hamilton, which is a age-old rivalry. Each team is literally just down the highway. So they play on Sunday night, and things kicked off last night. So it's a good day to be a CFL fan, you know?
There you go. Now, because I've never been. What's the attendance like for CFL? Do they put up numbers like the NFL do in the States?
It's very regional. It's very interesting. So if you go, so we're like, being in Ontario, we're kind of central Canada, if you will, but we're Eastern Canada, but we're in the middle of all the CFL teams. If you go the further west you go, the higher the attendance. So like Edmonton, Saskatchewan, all those like provinces that are prairie towns, and they're just like, a lot of them are kind of good old country boys, is that kind of like flex, and families go like it's a big deal. You know what I mean? Everybody's in think of the Raiders fan base. You know, those Raiders and the Vikings, where they're all painted up in this. It's like that. At the further west you go. East, the furthest you can go is Montreal. So in Quebec, the Montreal Alouettes. There isn't a team in Halifax yet. I dropped that on purpose because we want another East Coast team because our league is dying for it. But so it's so the fan base is there. But I mean, we're in the city. We're in Toronto, man. We got tons of professional teams that are competing against other American teams, so they get a lot more love than the Argonauts do.
So you guys is it doing well the league to add?
Yeah.
Because again, I'm not knocking it. I don't know. So
yeah, it's all good.
And Halifax is that big of a city to support a CFL team?
Oh yeah, Halifax would do great because they have a great football program down there in their universities alone. So they would have a lot of the support from the community, and then a lot of people that are just East Coasters, they would love it because they're Argos fans just by proxy. They have to be because it's the only game in town, which is
how about
province is over.
The Halifax Halibut.
No, man. Listen, we don't. No? You're going too deep now. You should have stopped at the questions. You don't need to start.
I'm just from what American always like America always does. We just stick our noses in things. I'm sticking my nose in Canadian football. And
listen, dude, you're an hour flight away. Come down for the weekend. We'll go to a game, and you can experience it, man. It'll be all right.
I'm down to go check out an Argonauts game. I am.
There you go.
I've never experienced the Canadian Football League. I'm good with football at any time of year. So
yeah, it's a good time.
I'm here for it.
Nice.
Also, so you know what, and this one I'm going to bring right to Joey because it's in Joey's backyard. Messi joining the MLS team in Miami.
Yeah, that's.
You can give us the impact. I'll ask the other guys in a minute what the impact is for Major League Soccer. But you, hometown Miami, what's the impact like down there? What's the word on the streets in Miami since you're local?
Well, soccer is actually pretty big in Miami. It's especially down here, man. It's they've been trying to really get this stuff on the map down here, and I mean, someone of his stature coming here is just, I mean, it's already, people are already going crazy here as it is. So I can only imagine the amount of, obviously the amount of press it's going to get, the dollars it's going to bring in, and the exposure, which is obviously what they're looking for to bring here. So yeah, it's massive, man.
Do you think they might still have a game or two with him there?
Maybe a couple. Maybe after the first couple games, they see if he plays okay. No, I'm kidding. Are you kidding me?
I mean, listen, he's like, here. It's like getting Pele to come play somewhere, right? I mean, he's that big in the world right now.
He did do that though. Pele did play in the it was the predecessor to the MLS. Pele came down, but he was past his prime, right? Which a lot of these high caliber European players are doing, coming down to the MLS for the
trying to get that check.
Yeah,
but
the last couple years,
a lot. Messi, I mean, he's not young. Don't get me wrong. I know he's 36, but I feel like he's still playing like he's in his prime, though.
Yeah,
I mean, he can still play.
That's what I'm saying.
Nigel might give him a run, but he can still play.
Listen, once again, you guys aren't wrong. You're 2 for 2 so far. You know what I mean? Like, who knows what number 3 is going to be? But you're not wrong.
Now, what does this mean for soccer in the U.S. in general, Caleb? Does this move the needle?
No, yes and no. No on the major side. America is a football country. That's it, and that's all. And I don't mean the football. I mean football. right? So it will never compete with football here. It won't. And Messi isn't known enough to the regular Americans. And I mean, when I say that, I mean middle America, white America that goes out, that's all painted. Come on, brother. Those guys, they don't know who Messi is. Like, that's not a big thing for them. But for the soccer fans, people that love soccer in America, and cities that have a population like Chicago, heavily Mexican, Puerto Rican, all that, like where the soccer is big, him coming, it's like LeBron going to play in China or something. It's like, oh my God. And listen, he doesn't have to be in his prime. He's still going to be better than 93% of the MLS and probably higher than that. Like, because he's that good, right? Like, and there's a mental thing. Like, he just knows the game. Like, he just knows where to be, where to put the ball, where to place it. Like, it's gonna be huge. But for the city of Miami, him there, oh my God, it's rock star. Like, straight up, bigger than David Beckham going to the Galaxy.
That was my next question. Is it a bigger impact than that?
Hell yeah, that's Messi.
Because that's where I think what Nigel was talking about. Beckham was kind of already past that prime. I feel like Messi still has more in the tank than he did.
And technically, so is Messi, but he just won the Gold Cup for Argentina.
He's
World Cup. Here's the thing.
Big thing. And he got the what was it? The golden what do they call it? The gold balloon. The gold balloon, right?
Yeah.
Right? So that's like best player in the world type shit at 36 years old. Like, he's gonna kill it. Like, Miami's probably gonna win it. Like, he's going to be phenomenal. The only other person that could potentially rival it would be if Ronaldo came. But Ronaldo can bring that same thing, but all the ladies love him, so it's a different trajectory for him. But Messi in Miami, oh my God.
And Pat, put that up real quick. It looks like Saudi's just trying to get athletes to come to them, right? With between 800 million to the Tiger to live, and now we got 1.6 to Messi to come play for a soccer team in Saudi Arabia. $1.6 billion. Can you imagine getting paid $1.6 billion?
And he turned it down.
He's turned it down.
You know how much money you got to have to turn it? It was my thing about Tiger Woods. Tiger Woods turned down $800 million from the Saudis. He was like,
would he have turned down 1.6? I don't know if he would have turned down 1.6 though.
They doubled it, and he still said, "Nah, it's still hot there."
Yeah. You know how much money Messi got? Man, come on, man.
But how much? I mean, I don't want to get in his. I don't want to go in his pocket or not. But I'm just curious, how much money does he have that he's looked at 1.6 billion? Was like,
well,
that's your answer.
Yeah, well, and also let's now look at some of the facts, right? So now, first of all, Caleeb hit it right on the nose. It's like this guy just won a World Cup. He is one of the most influential footballers, soccer players of our generation right now.
All time.
Yeah, of all time, for sure.
Definitely
of all time. So will it impact, again, Caleeb already answered this. I just want to set the ground though. Will it impact America as a whole? No, not really, but it will just generate the revenue, and just all those people that never got a chance to see him play on the world stage can now go to Miami and see him. Next fact, the ticket prices went up astronomically over less than 24 hours.
The secondhand market's going to do besides that.
Oh my God.
They skyrocketed from a measly, maybe $80, maybe around, 45 USD to now we're talking of upwards of $500-$600 for the same seat like that. Messi is now getting paid not only on top of his salary, whatever that may be, but he's getting shares from Apple TV that is exclusively showing MLS and also Adidas. You want to talk about that 1.6 that the Saudis offer? It doesn't even compare to the amount of money he's going to make. He probably is only going to play for like 2, maybe 3 seasons, I guess. And then after that, either own a team or have a share in the team and probably go back home and just chill, man. Like it's ridiculous how much this guy is now making from this appearance. And Miami's just going to have everybody under the sun to go watch him because they never got a chance to. I would. I would have.
I'm not a soccer fan. I don't follow soccer. I'll watch it if it's on, and I'm like flipping through the channels. I'll stop for a little bit just to watch it. But I don't really know who a lot of the players are. I know I know the Messis and I know Mbappe.
Oh yeah.
The usual suspects, right? But this would get me to go to a game. I mean, as long as I'm not priced out, obviously. But
you'll be priced out.
I'll probably be priced out. But other than that, barring that, this would have me go to a game. I would go to see it just for the intrigue, and I think that's what it does for a lot of the fringe fans that kind of watch soccer a little bit but had no real draw. This gives them that draw to go and maybe be get more and more into it. And you're seeing a bigger influx of children play the sport. I don't know if it's because of the concussion scare with football or whatnot, but so I think it will get more popular. I think it's only supposed to anyway, right? But it'll never overtake football though.
No, not here. Not here in America. I don't see that happening. But it's interesting. But I tell you what, Patty, see if you can see what Cristiano Ronaldo got from the Saudis, because Cristiano took that money. He said, "Oh, yes, sir."
Can you look at it, Patty? And
may not be so presumptuous. He was like, "I'm gonna go get that bag." Yeah,
that's true.
So,
and also while Patty looks that up to kind of fill a little bit, there is, I don't know if you guys saw, but their Twitter Instagram followers alone went up 3 million followers.
Of course, come on, man.
Went up 3 million followers in the day, and they actually dropped 4. Like Miami dropped four followers. And also now you have, I want to read this because I want to make sure I get it right. One of the new Inter Miami fans, because again, they went up like 3 mil. Somebody wrote, "New fan here. Who are you guys? Who are your players? Who are the two conferences? Or why are there 2 conferences in the MLS? What's our history? Why are we last in the league? Who do we hate? Is there an AC Miami? Why pink?" Like, there's just all these new fans that just have no idea. Instant follow.
Because I love the interview process too, to make sure that they're following the right team, right?
Yeah,
like they want to make sure they got all the and
that's what it does. They've already won. I mean, they've already accomplished what they wanted.
Yeah,
the buzz is nuts. All right, so according to multiple reports, Ronaldo is being paid around $213 million per year by Al Nassr. Now that's not 1.6 billion.
But still,
no, hold on. It's per year.
But it's per. Well, I'm saying, but it's per year.
Per year. You know what Steph Curry's deal was? $200 million for 4 seasons.
Yeah.
He's getting more than that for a single season.
Well, how long would have been for 1.6 billion? How many years was that?
Probably 6 to 8. I don't know. I'm not good at math. No, 2 times 6 is 1.2. So 7. Around 7 or 8 years.
Yeah, about 6, 7 years.
So it's roughly the same amount.
It doesn't matter. 200 million a season.
What's the tax like?
There is no tax in Saudi Arabia. They'll just kill the tax man.
Oh, man.
They wouldn't even...
Like, what are you talking about? There's no taxes?
Dude.
Like,
that's obscene money.
That is insane. Kyrie Irving wants the Supermax, $225 for 4 seasons. Yeah. Cristiano says, "Hold my beer." No.
You guys did it in 4 years?
You're playing for that little amount of money? What are you guys doing? You guys are
slaves over there. You don't even tie his laces for that.
Yeah. Ronaldo's like, "Yo, hold my brewery." You know what I mean? Like, he's like, hold everything, dude. Hold my IPAs, hold my stouts, hold my radlers, like everything.
Hold my solid gold bars.
Yeah.
Hold on. Dude. Let me go do this. Like, are you kidding? And I'm 3. Wow!
There you go.
3 years. Oh, so it would have been 3 years, 1.6. So you're talking about like over $500 million a year.
Oh my God.
That's insane.
Dude.
That's just
1.6. You can buy.
Do it yourself. Like,
yeah.
What's a National Hockey League team go for? Probably about that, right? Probably about $2 billion.
Dude.
He could buy his own hockey team.
Like, let me tell you, if I could make that kind of money in 3 years, I swear I would just wear a towel around my shoulders and air dry everywhere I go. And anybody who's upset, I just throw them the middle finger and toss money. I would just carry. I would have. You know how Morris Day back in the day with the time had Jerome with the mirror? I would just have a dude that just carries a bag of money a money gun. And I would just offend people and shoot hundreds at them and laugh and keep going. You know what I mean?
You got to wipe your nose on that $100 bill too. You got to wipe your nose in it.
Tears with 20s.
Dude, it would be gross. It would just be gross. I would say any and everything that I want at any time and just laugh.
Patty,
So what are you gonna do?
put that
Send me
back
to
up,
jail?
Patty.
Cool. I'll buy the prison like Pablo and fly all my people in. Nigel, we doing the show here.
Yeah, like
Gotta go.
Messi's new
I'm
contract
like, Nigel, I'll
reportedly
give you
worth
$50 million for
2.5
one
bill.
season at the pop-off. How you
There you
feeling?
go.
You know, like, come on, man. That's insane amount of money.
It's nuts. But here we go. Messi's contract. Let me sneeze at either 2.5 billion over 10 years. So I mean, yeah, listen. I guess also too, once you get into that certain bracket of money, what's more money at that point? Just go to a place where you're going to be happy, right? If you're talking about in the billions,
I swear, I like what would you do with that level of freedom? Because all money does is give you freedom.
yeah,
Exactly.
right. Yeah, for those who say money doesn't buy happiness is wrong,
With
because it
that
gives you
level
freedom.
of freedom, what kind of life would you lead? Like, really think about that, right? Like, I'd be like, all right, make sure everybody in my family close and straight. All right, each of y'all, go ahead. Y'all are good. Everybody leave me alone for a year.
yeah.
I'm going everywhere I want.
You never
Whatever. Like,
the
I don't
same.
want to hear nothing. I'm like, they be like, where are you? I'm like, on the moon, bitch. Don't call me.
Playing tennis with Don Cornelius on the moon, bitch.
Like, I'm still trying to figure out how to get back.
Yeah.
I'll pay for it.
Pat wanted to make sure, just so we all know, it's reportedly. It hasn't been confirmed yet, but reportedly that's what it is. So,
Oh my
reportedly.
gosh.
But it's still nice to imagine.
Oh God, yeah.
Dude,
All right, so let's get into some football, some basketball. Let's go with some basketball first. And you know what? Do we have things in there? We do. All right, my man, Nuggets go up 2-1, beating the Heat 109-94 with a record-breaking performance by Murray and by Joker, with their 30 each having a 30-point triple-double. First time it's ever happened, not just in the finals, but in the NBA in general. It's the first time it's ever happened. You know what? We said last time we were on, I think all you guys said Denver was going to win game 3 and Miami will win back game 4. And I went the opposite. I thought Miami was going to win game 3, lose game 4. And thought maybe it would go 6 or 7 games. I'm back to where my original plan was.
Yeah.
The series is over in 5 games. I think Denver now just runs the table. I think they figured out what they needed to do. I think Miami put up all the fight they can put up. And I think that's about it for Miami. I think Denver wins game 4, goes back to Denver, wins game 5, and that's the season. We'll see you next year kind of thing. Nigel, what's your take on well, let's start with the game first, with game 3.
I mean, I'm kind of speechless, man, because it started out like Miami was going to do this same thing they did in game 2. Like they came out flying offensively. They were putting up some points, and then it was just the Denver show. It didn't matter. And what I observed the most was how Denver was not even affected one iota by the crowd or by any kind of momentum that Miami had at any point. They weren't shook by it at all. It was unreal. I mean, you already told us the numbers for Murray and the Joker, and it's just like these guys the team's unstoppable, man. They're just like in sync. I mean, I know I'm talking very broad, but I'm just so impressed with how well they played in Miami, and it just didn't matter. And if this is, you're right, Gene, if this is how it's going to be, then this thing's a wrap in 5, man, because Miami has no answers. Spoles did the best he could with the adjustments in game 2, and then it's like the Nuggets just came right back at them and punched them right in the mouth. And we said, like, you know what? Hey, we took one, but now we're just going to give it to you all back. And it's unreal to watch. This is perfect. This is perfect basketball.
That's exactly. I mean, a perfect team basketball.
Yeah.
I thought Spoelstra would be the difference of why Miami would be able to hang around longer. I think at this point, Spoelstra. I don't even think there's anything Spoelstra can even do about it. I think it's just out of his hands at this point. Caleb, what about you? Is this series close to being done?
Yes. I think it was over when it first started, but I think it goes 6. I'm not doing Spoelstra like that. I'm not even talking about the players. I'm talking about Spol. Spol is the best coach in the NBA to me right now. I don't care what nobody says. He has a great team, and they're in the finals, and they already got a game on Denver, right? I think Miami does as hard as they can tonight, and I think they pull it out. Now, could I see Denver winning? Absolutely. Because like I said, when I called that Denver would win game 3, I also said the reason why is because Denver is immune to the city of Miami. They're immune to it. Jokic ain't going out partying. Neither is Murray.
Yep.
Neither is those players. Like, they want to win, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're hungry. So they're a better team. I just feel like, as Nigel called, the Hydra got one more in them. But after that, it's over. I think Denver there's a real shot. More likely than not, they win tonight. But I'm gonna say I'm not gonna do Spoles like that. I think Miami's gonna find a way to win, and they'll win it. But that will be it. That will be it. And I think it ends in 6. Now, could I be wrong? Absolutely. But if Denver wins tonight, oh my God, I mean, there is no shot. You just go on to Mile High, go on over there, give them a pound and let them go on and get their trophy, because you're not beating them in Denver with the series on the line for their first title. Yeah, right. It's not coming back to Miami if they win tonight. So it's gonna be interesting. But I just would hate to do Spoelstra like that and act like he can't pull one more out with that team.
Joey, what do you think?
So going back to I think it was after the first game, I didn't think Miami was going to get a win over in Denver. So that surprised me that they got it. They almost blew it, but they ended up getting it. So because originally I thought they would go, Denver win the first 2, Miami would probably win 1 in Miami, and then that would probably be it. So I'm probably going to say, I think Caleeb is onto something where I still think it should go 6, where Miami might scrap out another one. But, the reality is, Adebayo had 17 rebounds. Everyone else had 1. That's not going to cut it, man. It's not. And then, Murray, man, he took off on that game. Him and, the Joker, the team itself is much better. And even like Nigel said, they weren't affected. They took everything that they had. And it's funny, every time Miami go on a run, get a 4-point lead, Denver would just bring it back in. They get up 5, and we would just bring it back in. And it was just until they just kind of wore them down. And then after a while, you got a lot of open looks. And of course, as the good teams do, you're hitting your open looks. And that's pretty much what ended up sealing. And it was funny because, man, they were back and forth, pretty much dead even till about halftime. But, the cream always comes to the top at the end. They just continued on top of them, where Miami had to literally pull out 110% sprint to stay at that level, where Denver was just keeping pace, maybe 90%, of their actual effort. And at least that's what it looked like. And then eventually they just took over, and that was it, man. So yeah, I think it's going to be, could they win tonight? Yeah, Miami might win one tonight. But if they don't, yeah, it's done in 5.
Go ahead, Kelly.
I was just going to say, what to back up what Joey was saying. Remember when I told you, Gene, I said all Murray has to do is go at Jimmy, because he's too valuable. They can't risk the fouls. So Jimmy acquiesced a little bit on Murray, which is all Murray needed. And he goes for a 30-point triple-double, right? Yep. Because buckets can't afford to really guard him like he can because of the fouls, right? I was like, that was it. That Murray being aggressive changed everything. Yeah. And now, they said an NBA, nobody in the history of the NBA, since there's been an NBA, 2 players have a 30-point triple-double in the same game on the same team. That's ridiculous. That's insanity. You can say what you want about the new rules and the fouls and all of that, but it is what it is. 2 30-point triple-doubles is insanity.
And it shows you
cannot afford that anymore.
They can't allow it. Exactly. And it shows you how irrelevant they can allow, by them playing like that, it allows Porter to be irrelevant like he's been this series. Porter has disappeared this series. Yeah. But they've overcome it by this. And I know me and Nigel was saying the other day where up until now, it was like Murray was kind of like just waiting in the weeds, kind of like lurking, waiting to have a big game. And we were saying how, he had a lot of assists. What was it, game 2? He had all those assists. He had 10 assists, but he only scored 18 points. And I'd say only, but he's a guy that needs to score 25, 30, 35 points. If he's passing the ball a lot, he might have a lot of assists, but that means he's not shooting the ball a lot. And here's a time where he shot the ball a lot and he still got his assists. So this isn't the same kind of 10 assist game that he had in game 2. This is a little bit different. This is where they allowed him to go out and score. And you called it, Caleeb, as far as the guarding of Murray with Butler, man. I think that they gave them their best shot in game 2. They punched him right in the chin. And it was one of those things where, when you hit somebody and they kind of go down, but they only get on like one knee and they're not completely down yet. That was Denver game 2. Like they just fell back a little bit. They went down to one knee and they popped back up. And I just don't see them having enough to get them go down at this point, even on one more knee. Listen, as good as Miami played with game 2 and as solid as they played with all the adjustments they made, they still came that close to losing the game.
That's right.
That's what I'm saying.
So with that, I think they've already given them the best shot, and Denver's kind of like just brushed it off the shoulder, and and now they're ready to move on. And I just think this game ends in 5, or the series ends in 5.
I think that Joey made a really good point too, because the way that Miami's been playing all season, especially after the All-Star break, is they were the ones to wear teams down. They were the one to really grind it out and kind of make the game boring, if you will, until they lull you to sleep. And then all of a sudden they take advantage. And the last 5 minutes of the game, you're looking at the scoreboard. You're like, how did they just double us up? How did that happen? Or how did they take us to overtime when we were winning the whole game? And now, again, what Joey said is spot on, man. It's the reverse. The Nuggets were just like, they were kind of like keeping pace. They were like the pace car in the Indy race. They're like, cool, man. Well, and here we have, the Heat just revving at all RPMs, just trying to keep up, man, just trying to keep up. And then Denver was like, cool, man. You know what? Is it time? Yeah, it's time. Boom, we out. And it's just like, poof, warp speed, gone.
Yeah.
What I think it's apparent is the old adage in the NBA, as it always has been, and all the old school pundits always say it. A dominant big man, there's no answer.
Yep.
And you're seeing it in no matter what era. Go to Bill Russell, Wilt Chamberlain, Kareem, go through all the eras. Patrick Ewing, whatever. A dominant big man changes everything.
Yeah.
My favorite player of all time, Michael Jordan, changed that idea in everybody's mind. They're like, oh, you get a guard who sticks his tongue out and can shoot. You can win. Yes, you can. But when you're up against a dominant big man, whoo! And Michael never faced dominant big mans in the championships. Karl Malone wasn't the center. He was the power forward, right? Think about it. He didn't go against a Shaq. When you had Shaq, you win.
Yeah.
Think about it. Dominant big man.
That would have been a great series to see, is the 90s Bulls versus those great Shaq Laker teams.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to call who would win, but let me tell you,
I don't even know
what people would think. A dominant big man is everything.
Yeah.
And I'm just saying, Miami is fantastic, but they don't have nobody to match Jokic. Same thing with the Lakers. AD is a big man, but he's not a big man. He don't have this, right? He's too fragile. So he just push him around. That like a dominant big man will always do it. That's why they think the Sixers. That's why they were talking about the Bucks. That's why the Nuggets. I'm telling you. That means something. Steph Curry changed everybody's mind. He can pull up from 40. Yep. Right up until nobody's there for that rebound.
That's the problem.
Right? Yep. I'm telling you, man, there's something about it. And Jokic is bringing that back. And you're seeing what happens with a dominant big man. The Miami got shooters everywhere. But nothing stops the drop step and from nothing more than 10 feet out. Right,
dude, he just
and the thing is, if you stop the shot, he can easily pass it better than any other big man.
Now that is the.
There's too many dimensions,
dude. Now that changed everything. He can pass. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like imagine if Mike Tyson in his prime could kick. You'd be like, oh hell no! No, I gotta deal with all that and a kick. Right? That's what I mean.
Picture Mike Tyson's little legs.
That is true.
That's my point. He probably break somebody's leg with those thighs he had.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But that's what I'm saying. It's like an added dimension that just makes it virtually unstoppable.
Yep. Yeah.
Gotcha.
No,
Patty,
he's putting up the rebounds he's putting up. It's just insane. And then the ease at which he can score when he gets into it's like he's going to score.
Dominant big man, still the answer.
We got the video. Pat, play that video of Butler talking in the post game about the being out rebounded.
We're going to go to left side and back.
Jimmy, Nick Friedel, ESPN. You guys got out rebounded 58-33. You mentioned the effort. Why do you think it was so lacking tonight?
I don't know. I can't answer that. Maybe, we're at home. we think we did something. I don't know. It just can't happen. It won't happen again. And it starts with myself. I got to lock in on a defensive end. I got to go up and get loose balls. So I think if I start playing and doing that, then everybody else has to follow suit.
Yeah, it's a good answer. That's a good answer. I mean, they got to shoot though. They also got to shoot. Their shooting was atrocious. I just want to say one point, and then I'll hand it back off to Eugene. I also want to say that on the heels of like how well Jokic can pass. First of all, Gordon was 5 assists away from also getting a triple-double. Only 5. Like it's ridiculous. He had 10 rebounds, 5 assists, 11 points. It's ridiculous. And then on top of that, I want to say like a huge shout out to the supporting cast, right? Because Jokic is such a great passer that all they have to do, I use the term very lightly, is get open. It's like just make a move and get open because he can just feel where they're gonna be. Like the passes that he's making underneath the net or after a screen or whatever. I mean, it's he's doing. I would say his vision is 75% of the work, but the rest of the percentage is the other teammates knowing that as long as they get open, he'll find them, and he does that, and that's what makes the whole thing work.
You're 1,000% right about that. And to piggyback on that, Nigel, here's what it is. They know just get to our spots. One of us will be open because Jokic is demanding a double team at all times. And guess who else is now? Freaking Murray.
I know.
It's very hard to stop that. You know what I mean? You three-peat when you do that. That's Shaq and Kobe.
Yeah.
Like, what do you pick your poison?
Yeah.
Let Kobe shoot? Okay. Or let him drop it down to Shaq. All you can do is hack Shaq and pray to God he misses his free throw.
So I only want to say this because you said three-peat, and we talked recently about this possibly being a dynasty. A dynasty. Do we see that there's a
No. I don't think so. But I'm just saying that is the formula to do it.
Yeah.
That's the formula to do it. If you got 2 unstoppable players and one of them is a big man, Lord have mercy. Like, I don't know what you do.
You got inside and outside. You got both.
Come on. And there's 3 other players on the team. Please don't let them be able to shoot. You're done.
Yeah.
That's what made Steph and Clay so potent because they were so elite at shooting. You couldn't leave any of them open. Then they hit Livingston, hit Iguodala, hit Draymond Green. So now Draymond getting contracts like he's a he's a boss. And then Draymond is average player at best. A little bit. Okay, if 10 is Jokic and Draymond is in the center, Draymond's 6.5, 7 maybe. Like, and that's on a good day when he's had his Gatorade and went to sleep early.
You know what I mean? Had his vitamins. I think you've even been a little too nice.
Draymond, no slight to Draymond, but you know what I mean. Y'all know if he wasn't on the Warriors, stop it.
I know. No, you're right. You're right.
You know what I mean? So
he was like on the Charlotte Hornets. We wouldn't even know who the hell he is.
Oh hell no. He might be out the league by now.
So there you go.
He might have 2 used car dealerships in wherever city.
Like a couple of car washes, maybe.
Like 6 seconds, Caleb had him from a 7 on his best day to out the league, bro.
Yeah. On the best day with the Warriors. He had 7 on his best day with the Warriors.
It's a lot easier to, but you know what? You're right though, because with those guards that are there, it's a lot. You don't have to rebound much, and when you do, you're in the perfect position.
Listen.
Because there's so much emphasis on the outside anyway.
Had to do with
sit
in this spot and wait.
Yep.
Because they couldn't guard Shaq and Kobe, and they're going to throw as much as they can. Guess who's open? He was so open, they started calling him Big Shot Bob because he would just be wide open. Take his time. Cash. You play pro ball. You should hit your open shot.
Robert Horry won about a gazillion titles in the league because
he's got 7, I think.
Yeah, he's won with the Lakers. He won with the Rockets. He's won a ton.
Yep.
Because you could do that. So
yeah.
All right. So before we move on to the next one, Caleb, who do you got tonight? Game 4.
I'm gonna go with Miami tonight. Even though I think Denver's gonna win the series, I'm gonna give Jimmy that. You heard Jimmy. He said and Jimmy's right. He is the spark plug of the Hydra, Nigel. Like if he goes, they all other 7 heads get hype and they believe they can do it.
Yeah.
And then it's over.
Yeah.
Like after that,
Yeah,
I think he'll shoot his wad. Forgive my thing, but you get my point. He'll blow his wad in this one. Jimmy will give it all he got. They'll get this one. And it'll be hard fought. I say Miami wins by 3, like one of them kind of games.
Yep.
When you jump up on the scores table and do all this after the game and your chest out and you're doing that and you really know because it's over.
Tonight, game 4.
You talking about, to me?
Yeah.
Sorry, I couldn't hear you. Yeah, I'm gonna still stick with my early prediction saying that it was gonna be done in 6. So yeah, I gotta give Miami a shot tonight to win the game. And Caleb was right. They'll probably jump out big, because the crowd's going to be hyped and all that stuff. And Denver going to pull that crap back in close again. But they'll probably win by, like a bucket or something like that. So I'll give Miami tonight. After that, that's pretty much it.
Nigel, what about you?
Yeah, I'm going to repeat the same thing Joey said. I feel the same way, man. I still think it's going to be 6. I think the Heat, they're talking a big talk. I think they're going to walk the walk tonight. It's going to be a really fun game. It's going to be hard. It's going to be tough. It's going to be a grinder. I mean, at most, it'll be a 5-point difference at most, and then go back to Denver. It's downhill from there.
I think it's going to be a close one, but I think Denver pulls it out.
Okay.
I think that Miami's given their best shot. Miami will keep it close. I don't think they're going to get blown out like they did in game 1, and then even game 2 having a hard time. Game 2, game 3. I think it's going to be like Nigel said, a 5-point game. I think it could even be where it swings back and forth, 5 points, back and forth. Yeah. At the end of the day, though, I think Denver closes this one out, takes it home to Denver to finish out the series. But we'll get there later. We'll get there next week. But as of today, I have Denver. To be honest with you, the next game. Right, today's. I think then when is game 5? Is it
probably
Monday?
Monday?
All right, so you're looking at game. I got to be honest. I think by Monday the season's over.
Okay.
Which is a shame because I want more basketball, but I think by Monday season's over.
You can watch the WNBA.
Hey, listen. My New York Liberty are pretty good this year. We got
there
INSU,
you go. You know what I mean? It's not. It's a little different, but it ain't. These girls are balling out there. Like no BS. Like they got some. Yeah.
I know you. I don't know if you're being funny or not, but I actually enjoy. I think, especially this.
No, I'm not being funny.
It's a good brand of basketball.
Yeah, they've been balling, and I think within the next 3 seasons, the WNBA is going to do well, like with these other girls coming out of college, because that college, the women's college tournament this year. Was better than the men's.
It's been one of the best in a long time.
Easily.
Yeah, so those girls are coming. I mean, those young ladies are coming. Not gonna call them girls. They're adults.
Young women.
Those young ladies are coming. They're a lot younger than me, though. You know what I mean? I'm saying I'm 43 years old. I'm 176 years old. 176 years old.
But I'll tell you what, and to touch on it a little bit too, is what I loved about the NCAA tournament this year for the women's side of it was. They really some of the stuff you love from like that drama that you love in the men's side, the kind of the trash talking back and forth. We got that. We got that this year. We got that with the can't see me thing and all that other stuff. So I'm looking forward to that brand coming into the WNBA and making it a little bit feistier. But but listen, shout out to the Liberty. They're having a pretty good season. I think they're 4-2 already, and they have some squad this year. It's the best team they've had, I think, maybe since the beginning of the league. So.
We have the WNBA up here actually for an exhibition game about 2 months ago, month and a half ago, over at the Raptors Arena there, the Scotiabank Arena. It was sold out like quick. Advanced ticket sales, really? Those are gone. Wow, and then after that, everything was gone.
Maybe a little expansion. Maybe that's testing for a little market testing.
Trust.
Oh, and they're absolutely doing that.
Yeah, that's for sure. There was one Canadian.
Just don't water down the league, though. Don't I don't want them to water down the league. We're bringing more talent, but
no. They wouldn't. They know they have a quality product. Like there was one Canadian lady that was playing on the. I think it was on Minnesota. I can't remember, but she was playing, and so she did a little shout out and stuff, and just. The fan base, like the women, the little girls, the energy was just live. Like the telecast, the broadcast was absolutely fantastic. Like the orange branding was everywhere in the city. Like it's a thing, man. So just to support what Caleb and Joy are saying, it's going to be a thing for sure. Real quick.
That's good. What you gonna say something, Joey?
Oh, I was going to ask you, when you said watered down, what do you mean by that? Like,
I mean, like too many teams and not enough good players to fill out the teams.
Oh, okay.
You know, like you see it in baseball a lot too. Like baseball, the pitching has gotten watered down because there's so many teams. So you see, that's what they talk about sometimes about like, you know, like minimizing, you know, I forget what the term they call it, but no, the opposite expansion. They talk about like getting rid of a couple teams to kind of help. Well, yeah, there's another word they use for it with baseball. So it's not, man. I don't have to tell you. There's another word. Downsizing's not it, but I get what you're saying.
Acronyms for you.
No, that's not it either.
No, that's another word, but it's another word for that. But it's like,
it's like downsizing. But I just don't want to see the like, you know, make sure that there's enough players to fill out all these teams before you just, you know, start adding teams. But I'm all for it. I think the league is definitely on the upswing. So, all right, Chris Paul. It's been announced that Chris Paul is looking like he's going to be going. We talked about this recently, but now it sounds pretty much official. Nigel, where's he going?
Dude, I have no idea. I'm racking my brain because I don't know where he fits anymore. I really don't. I just feel like for me, and I know I've said this before, I know it sounds like I'm a Chris Paul hater. I'm not a hater. I just feel like his time has passed, and I don't know who else he can help in what magnitude, because it seems like even coming off the bench, or it doesn't seem like he's going to serve a great purpose to even rookies and stuff coming in. I honestly don't know. I have no good answer for this one.
I'm going to be honest with you, Nigel. There's a part of me that wonders if he ends up retiring, because we've already seen him on, to what you're saying, we've already seen him on like a championship caliber team. So even if you say, oh, well, maybe he'll just join a team that's ready to win so he can get his title and kind of bow out gracefully then. But we've already seen him on a team that is ready to win now and couldn't win with him at point guard. And you're right. Do you want to bring him to a younger team where he still wants to be the alpha and not help the younger? Like, does he want to help younger players develop? I don't know. I haven't really seen that from him yet. So where does he fit? So I almost would say I could see. I'm not saying this is what he's going to do. It's not I don't know enough yet about his situation. But I wouldn't be surprised if this is where he now leads to retirement and goes, listen, the guy can do whatever he wants after he retires. There's not going to be a shortage of jobs for him as far as broadcasting. I can see anybody being there as far as wanting him as a broadcaster. He's obviously got the commercial game on lock. Caleeb, what do you think he ends up?
I agree. I think he ends up at home. I think he should retire. I think it's done for him. I really do. I don't think he can physically do it at the level that it needs to be, like to be an asset to a team outside of his mind, like helping the younger players. I don't know him enough to know whether he's into that or not, but just say for the sake of argument, he is, then I could see it, but at like a Russell Westbrook contract, $1 million. You know what I mean? Because it's like we don't need you to, because you can't help us physically, right? The thing I'm hearing in LA, we're hearing, oh, he's coming to the Lakers. I'm like, for what?
Yeah,
like,
couldn't do it in
does
Phoenix.
LeBron want to win or not? Because if LeBron don't want to win, bring your boy Chris. That's his son's godfather. All of that, like they cool, bring him. But if you're trying to win, that don't help you. That actually hurts you. The King's gonna really blow y'all out the arena then, right? So I think Chris should just gracefully bow out, go on and do start a new contract with State Farm, do those commercials. I love him. I think he's hilarious. Do it with his son, all that, with Jake and all that. Do that. He'll get on NBA TV, maybe TNT, you know, just depending.
I'd love to see him on TNT. I'd love to see him mixed in with Shaq, Kenny, and Charles.
Yeah, I mean, they got a trilogy going. I doubt they add him, but it's like
it would definitely make it a little different. But
being a pundit, being a talking head, come in and talk about the game, cool. But I think it's done. I really do, because they were talking about what about a trade for James Harden to Phoenix and Chris to the Sixers. I'm like, no. None of that helps either team. Like, you know what I mean? Like we were talking about Messi earlier. This ain't a Messi situation.
No, it's a messy situation.
Exactly.
Literally.
It's a not an MSSI, a MSSY situation. You know what I mean? Because here's the deal. Messi just won the World Cup and the Golden Balloon. Chris ain't won a title ever.
Yep.
And damn sure never won the best player in the history of the game award. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, just, hey, you had a great career. You made a gajillion dollars. Enjoy it. You're only 38 or 30, 38, 36, something. He's I think it's one of them. The point is, chill.
I think he's 30.
You're young in human years and an old man in basketball years. You know,
I think if he goes to the Lakers, that's just LeBron admitting he's not ready to win. He's not looking to win championships. He's looking to have some fun towards the end of his career.
And LeBron can do that if he wants. He has every right. I just don't see that in him. For whatever reason, I don't see him not wanting to win.
Well, I mean, I think at that point, again, I think best spot for him is sitting next to Kenny and Charles and
that's right.
Shaq.
He needs to be at home.
But if it does happen, I think you're looking at like, did you really think that adding like is he? If you give, he's 38 years old today. We got Chris Paul's age. If you give LeBron some true serum, is he going to sit there? Is he going to honestly say that he's the missing piece? Like, no, it would be he wants to play with some that he's probably wanted to play with for his whole career, and now he has a chance to finally have a couple of games with him at the end of his career. Yeah. Same way he wants to play with his son. If he's going to go play with his son somewhere, he's going to go to a lottery team, right? Because his son's going to be a lottery pick somewhere. He's already admitted that he wants to play 1 year with his son and then retire. So he's going to go somewhere where he knows he's not winning a championship then either. So is he really willing to just move on and be like, all right, this is like my phase of where I'm winding down my career and I want to accomplish certain things. I've already accomplished championships. This is where I get to accomplish some of the things I didn't get to do yet, like playing with Chris Paul would be one of them. Maybe he really wants to play with Chris Paul, and that's where he's like, you know what? I would love the chance. He's like my brother. I'd love the chance to play with him. Maybe this is where that
go
is.
Join Ice Cube's 3-on-3 league and play with everybody you want to. Then it's the damn NBA. Like you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't even know. What
and here's what you feel bad for. You feel bad for the Anthony Davises and all the all the people that are signing over there to play with LeBron to win championships. And then if LeBron's going to be like, well, I just want to play with Chris Paul.
Well, at least AD did get one. Granted, it was in the bubble.
It was in the bubble.
He did get one.
Yep.
So, Joey, what's your take on it, man? Where should he go next year? Do you agree? Joey? Did he freeze?
Yeah.
He froze. Okay.
He froze.
All right. So we'll come back to him in a little bit. Well, there he is. There he is.
I don't know what's going on my internet today. It's like going in and out. I don't know.
Because Messi is there. Everybody in Miami is on the internet right now.
Yeah, the bandwidth. It can't take the bandwidth. Can't take it, man.
I don't know what's going on.
And I think Trump is getting indicted at the Miami courthouse.
It's happening. It's happening in Florida.
Oh yeah, he has to go to court in Miami. So that they shut the whole city down. Like nobody. They're like because he's a former president. So it's like
the president come.
Yeah. So I'm sure that's. Right,
might have something to do with it.
Internet is all messed up. Too much.
So a lot going on in Miami today. Miami is the epicenter of the world today.
That's right.
All right. So Joey, what's your thing? Do you agree? Is he retire, or do you think of a better place for him to go?
I think that's the best thing for him. He should probably just retire. I mean, seriously, because like you said, if we could think of places he could go, he's gonna want to go. Obviously, since he's never won one, he's gonna want to go to a team like with these teams that are built to win right now. I mean, like even that's just an example. Let's say he goes to the Celtics. You got Tatum and Brown. You're going to have a hierarchy issue right there. And although I think his skill set would actually help them because these dudes can't turn the ball over too much, and his distribution skills are amazing. I just don't think that's the place for him. And it's most likely probably better that he just retire and do his TV thing. And that's about it. Because just like you said, he's not going to LA. So I don't, because both LA and like the Celtics are on that level.
I hear you.
Where
Celtics
they're really
would be a decent
getting
fit.
close to, and I'm losing.
We lose him a little bit. That's why he's frozen. I agree to the fact that when you think about where would he fit? All right, yeah, Boston could use a point guard, right? But he was already in a better situation than he was with Phoenix, with better stars. So
I see it. I just don't think. I think it's running up and down the court. That's where he is susceptible. That's where he is
he's a lot slower. A lot slower than he was.
Yes, It's like running up and down the floor. That is the problem. And does Boston want to slow the game down to accommodate him? No. Because they're going to get beat. You can't beat the Hydra running slow.
Nobody's playing that anymore. Nobody's playing that like take your time and like set up and set up. Nobody's playing
somebody as big as Jokic. Denver runs.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and you touched on it a little bit, and I know this wasn't a topic, but I don't know if you guys heard. Did you see how that? It's pretty much been confirmed that it sounds like that Dame doesn't want to go to Boston. That's one that he's already kind of wiped out. It looks like that's not even in his wheelhouse as far as wanting to go to Boston. So I don't know what Boston does, but they need to make some change over there because it's not working with what they got. But that's a topic for another day. Or maybe not. Maybe the best Batman and Robin comes up in a little bit. But who is
you already
the best
know who that is? It's Jokic and Murray. Right now, it's Jokic and Murray.
Yeah, and you know what? It's. I was trying to not that you can't, but I was really trying to make an argument for somebody else for another dynamic duo. But Caleb's right, man. There's literally nobody else that are in that, even in their scope or the radius or their epsilon right now. Mm-hmm. The way that they're playing, it's lights out. The closest I came, and I think, I mean, I wouldn't fight for this, but the closest I came was the was like, what was I thinking, man? Was it? I mean, maybe a Giannis and Holiday or something, or like, you know. But I know, like, I don't even know, man. You know.
Can I name one?
Sure.
Again, mine would still be what you guys said. It would be Joker and Murray. I think even next year, Murray's even better next year. But just for the sake of doing the exercise, I wanted to see if I could really think of somebody else. And what about in Phoenix?
Yeah, you could do KD and Booker, but that's the
absolutely.
closest.
Yeah, and it's not. And again, is KD better than Jokic right now? No, Jokic is better than KD right now. But I do believe that Booker is better than Murray by a smidge. Maybe not by a lot, but by a smidge. I think he is.
Here's what I'm saying. Booker is a better scorer, and that's hard to say because Murray can go, but Murray can do other things Booker don't.
Obviously,
Murray's giving you 10, 12 assists.
Yeah,
and Murray's over here like that's what Booker don't do. Booker gives you 45.
Murray completely sells out. I don't mean sell out in a bad way. Sells out meaning like he leaves everything else on the court. So that's one of those differences too. He's not just one of these guys that can score and then he kind of takes some defensive plays off. He's pretty much, his motor is pretty much set at go.
You know who I was going to say? Sorry, I was going to say for me, Curry and Green. Like I like when they're on the court together because I know as much as we kind of smacked Green in the mouth earlier today. I say we, I'm taking the brunt. It was really Caleb, but I mean, I just feel like that tandem is really great to watch. I mean, it's just obviously if we're talking about the three, then you got to add Thompson in there. But if we're talking two, I think it is Curry and Green for me because Green rebounding, lesser poor man's Rodman, if you will, in terms of the way that he plays, because he can really put in those garbage minutes, man. And when he does, he'll give you those garbage buckets, those hard ones that nobody else is really going to fight for. And I think what he also adds, what Green adds, is that fight, that like, I mean, you're gonna get at least 5 techs a season from him for sure, but those are gonna be worth it because he'll disrupt the other team. And then Steph is just Steph. Steph just he throws it up from half court now, and it'll go in 3 out of the 5 times. It's ridiculous.
Look who's back!
I'm trying to bring myself in. Patty Puddles is fighting me. I'm in and out.
Okay. You can relax. Patty Puddle's got it, man.
Yeah, it's okay. I don't know. Yeah, the internet
usually screws up a lot. I don't know what had you there.
Where the heck are we at?
So we were done talking
Uncle
about
Joey over here coming in so hot. Uncle Joey just like
where the heck we at?
Yeah.
So we were saying the best Batman and Robin in the NBA today is
beginning of the season. I would have said Tatum and Brown, but right now, got to be
even with Tatum being a choke artist.
I'm just going to ignore that.
Overrated.
He did say beginning of the season.
Keep it social. It's still daylight. Come on.
That's what I'm saying. But for now, I'm going to, I got to say right now, because I'm kind of a prisoner of the moment. I'm going to say the Joker and Murray. For sure. That's got to be it right now.
Yeah, I think that's where our consensus was. We went a little bit with the Phoenix team. And Nigel had, who did you say again, Nigel?
I was saying Curry and
Green.
Yeah.
So, but we all went with those were all like second to
easily
Murray Joker. So,
second.
Yeah.
Say again. Oh yeah, just the second.
Just the second. Yeah.
I thought you said just the second. I was like, all right, let's wait. All right, so guys, we're gonna take a short commercial break. We're gonna come back. We're gonna have some NFL stuff going down. So wait a minute.
Happiness is addictive. Passionate about spreading laughter and creating smiles worldwide. Happiness is addictive brings our global community together through humor, optimism, cheer, hopefulness, and merriment. Happiness is addictive. Happiness is addictive.
Craving your favorite theme park treats right from the comfort of your home? Introducing MainStreetTreat.com. We bring your favorite treats right to your doorstep. Visit MainStreetTreat.com today and go ahead, treat yourself.
Somebody dropped something.
That wasn't me.
All right. Well, nobody was blaming you, Joey. It's okay. It was you. It wasn't. Doesn't matter. You're all right. All right. So, guys, let's get into some NFL news. Ranking. Let's start with the NFL NFC East defenses. Let's rank them. You know what? I'm going to start with Nigel. Nigel, give me your ranking, and let's see if we're on the same page.
Okay, NFC East defensive rankings. We're going from 5 to 1. That's how I'm going to do it. I think we're going to go.
There's only 4.
I was going to say, wait, did I?
Oh, sorry. 4 to 1. Thank you very much.
That's all good, but yeah, there's only 4.
I was really curious who my number 1 was going to be. So 4 to 1 now. 4, I'm going to go Commanders. 3, I'll go Giants. 2, no. 3, I'll go Cowboys. 2, I'll go Giants. Number 1, Philadelphia Eagles.
Wait, say it one more time.
Commanders.
Okay.
And then I went Cowboys, Giants, Eagles.
Okay, I got mine's a little different, but so let me ask you this. And so
Wait, Gene's making sure that you align with his thoughts, otherwise it's
I
not
was
good.
just- that was pretty much, well, I mean, we listen, Joey. We went over NFC quarterbacks the other day, and I had Geno Smith as number 1, and they will have it like 3 and 4.
Yeah,
and I also made another hot take, Joey. This affects you as a 49er fan. I'll say it one more time. I got zero love for it, bro. I said the second best quarterback in the division. That's going to start more games for his team than anybody else. Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold will be the second best quarterback in the division.
Hey, Joey, that was like, we all wish the internet just stopped working when he mentioned that. We're all just hoping
for Trump indictment that day.
We were like, nah, dude. We
Throw some tomatoes at him or something, man.
Yeah.
Joey, that's your guy, Sam Darnold.
No, it's not my guy.
His
He's
team
somebody
guy.
that they put on the team. Listen, I'm the one that watches these practices, and I pay attention to mini camp and OTAs and stuff. Sam looked like he's always looked. Average, turns the ball over too much, indecisive. I saw a lot of stuff I didn't really like, to be honest. So I guess we'll see. I know he doesn't know the system, but there's no way he's not starting in that. He's not starting over Purdy, and he's not. I'm telling you now.
I think Purdy could be a week 1 starter. He might be. I think by the end of the season, Sam Darnold is your starter.
Unless they get injured. Then maybe.
Unless Sam Darnold gets injured. Unless Sam Darnold
It's not going to be by play, because it's never going to get. I think Trey starts the season, because I think from what I've seen so far in OTAs and minicamp, he's progressed enough where I think he might be the week 1 starter, especially since Purdy, even though he'll be cleared to play a couple weeks before the regular season, I don't think that's fair to give him enough time to kind of get back to football speed.
Is it me? Put that back up real quick. True or false?
What?
If anyone's familiar with The Incredibles, does it mean does Sam Darnold look like? Is he syndrome? I think he's syndrome.
Put some red hair on him.
He's syndrome.
You're monologuing on me. All right.
My bad. But anyway, yeah. So that was my guy. So all right. So give me why you think Philly's number 1 and why you have Washington. And here's where I disagree majorly is the Washington one.
Why do you have Philly as number 1? Did you just ask that?
No, why Nigel has Philly as his number 1 defense and Washington as his last defense.
Oh, listen, real quick. Philly's only gotten better, and I just feel like their defense is a lot faster than it was last season, and I think they're going to add more pieces and they're going to make things work. With the Commanders, it's so interesting to watch the Commanders because the last 2 or 3 seasons, I want to say 2, they've somehow been in the mix every time, but it's not because of their defense or their offense. It's because the other teams are usually not playing to the caliber that they should be playing at. And the Commanders just happen to be like decent enough. They're not going to come in and punch you in the face or kick you in the butt. They're not going to do that. They're going to survive, and that's what they just do. Is if for some reason they just survive. It's probably because their name is a hot mess, so they got to have some kind of an identity.
Worst name in the league.
But other than that, I mean, I just feel like the Eagles. We know their offense will score more than you, but I think their defense is going to hold up a lot better this season.
Pull up the depth chart, the Washington depth chart, Patty. Here's my thing: is if you look at that front four, that front four is dominant, dude. That might be the best front four in the league, right? Chase Young, Darren Payne just on a huge extension, Jonathan Allen, Montez Sweat. To me, that's the best front four in the league, and that's coming from a Jet fan who thinks we have a pretty good front four as well. That's a scary front four. Caleeb, what's your top four?
Definitely number one. We all know what that is. We don't even have to mention that. But I do agree with you, Gene, about the Commanders. They are not the worst defense. I think the Giants will be.
That's wrong, man.
I think it's going to be a toss-up between Dallas and the Commanders, and here's why it's a toss-up. Everybody's expecting, if you were to ask the world, they would say Eagles, Dallas, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. But I think the Commanders are sneaky. I think their defense is sneaky good, and it's going to surprise people. That is where it is. Here's what's going to happen. They'll end up becoming third or maybe fourth because they're going to be on the field more because their offense is trash, right? So they're going to be on the field more, which will expose them more, and they'll get burned, But I think they actually are a whole lot better than what people want to give them credit for. And so I wouldn't have the last. Right now, I would put them slightly above Dallas. I would put them in number 2 defense, number 3 the Cowboys, and number 4 the New York Football Giants.
Caleeb, I've never been prouder of you because we're exactly simpatico on this. We're exactly the same. I got Philly. Philly was already great last year. You add these pieces that you add in the draft and you don't expect to get better. Here's another thing that's going to make that defense even better. They're going to be on the field less because they added a bona fide
that's my point
at the running back position. So they're going to control the ball even more, which puts the Philly defense on the field even less. But then again, you draft those 2 guys in the first round that you drafted. It's pretty much the Georgia Bulldog that won the title as your defensive unit at this point, and they're going to be better for it. Washington, again, sneaky good. Yeah, they don't have a name brand guy like Dallas has that's going to crush the quarterback every play, but they have the solid. They always say, what's the foundation of building a good football team? You build it from the inside out, right? And their inside, their guts are the strongest in the league. And that's why I give Washington that credit. I think they will be there. And I don't think their offense is quite as bad. I think they're going to sneak up on people this year, even offensively. I think they're going to have a half-decent year this year.
Well, they got great receivers.
Good receivers, decent running game.
It's just the quarterback, but you only go as far as your QB.
You only go as far as your QB, and that's the question: is Sam Howell the answer? And we'll find out this year. I'm not so sure he is, but I'm also not so sure he's not. But okay. I have Washington coming in second. Dallas, and pull up Dallas's depth chart real quick. Now I know no one here is a Cowboy fan. The one Cowboy fan didn't make it in today. Listen, DeMarcus Lawrence, fantastic, right? But yes, we don't know what Mazi Smith is yet. Micah Parsons, all world, but we don't know who Osa, young man with the name I can't pronounce, Odigizua. I can't pronounce it. I tried, but Osa, and no, we don't know how good Osa is really like that yet. So like, Van Dash, decent player, but I know he's had some injury history.
Neck.
Micah Parsons is probably the best defensive end in this whole division, but
of course,
but it still doesn't make the whole defense better. He'll make the secondary better. Don't get me wrong, he will. But there's still enough other question marks on that defense that I can't give it to them past third. And I agree. The Giants, pull up the Giants depth chart real quick. Giants depth chart. Thibodeau, I think, is the real deal. Leonard Williams, I don't think is. Dexter Lawrence, obviously Pro Bowler, all pro, real deal. Solid defense, but overall, I think their secondary leaves a lot to be desired. They even lost some of those names that were good last year from Julian Love. Went to Seattle, so he's gone. There's nobody. Listen, their linebackers. Look how bad their linebacking core is. Other than Thibodeau, who plays kind of like defensive end, outside linebacker. Pull it back up, Pat. They got an inside linebacker with the name of Beavers. I'm sorry, I'm not gonna be scared of some guy named Beavers. I'm just not. I can run through that guy, I think. So that's my take on it. So I go Philly, Washington, Dallas, New York Giants, just like Caleb. Joey, what do you got?
Okay, so obviously Philly's number one, no question. If you and then we're gonna start at the bottom. I definitely would put the Giants dead last, and then partially because I believe this, and partially because I just wish their team plane would just crash. The Dallas Cowboys will put them in third. I hate that team with a passion, but
me too.
Much respect, Micah Parsons. That guy's ridiculous, and they are an elite team. We play them damn near every year in the playoffs. They're really hard to get by. But yeah, Washington, and there's a caveat though. Chase Young, who can be elite, hasn't been able to stay on his feet.
Yeah,
that's the problem. They're outstanding. Now, I will tell you this. I'm going to give you a little pushback. I don't think they have the best front four in the NFL or front seven or any of that stuff. I would put Philly and San Fran in that category.
Maybe Philly.
Huh?
Maybe Philly. I don't think I put San Fran in that.
So Nick. What? Okay. So Nick Bosa, right?
Yeah.
Eric Armstead. Right?
Eric Armstead's okay.
Remember, he's not a sack artist. This is a 7 foot, 300-pound D tackle that is just ridiculous. I know.
Bosa's probably the second best defensive end in the league behind Parsons.
Well, remember, Parsons is a linebacker.
Yeah, but they bring up that line a lot.
Bosa is a pure defensive end. That guy's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And then you're telling me the addition of Hargrave. No?
Hargrave, I think, was better. I think you're gonna say that contract. He's not gonna live up to his contract. I think he's gonna be better. I think he's better in Philly than he's gonna be in San Francisco.
Nobody lives up to their contract.
Yeah.
Then there you go. But
we're gonna see about that.
Listen, Hargrave's not. I don't think he's garbage.
That. You're still talking about the number one defense in the NFL, right?
Yeah.
I'm just saying. Known as the front.
I mean, we'll see this year when the Jets take over that spot. But yeah, okay.
So. Caleb, hey, just so you know, Philly.
Is it that far-fetched to think that they couldn't be the number one defense in the league this year with a better offense to help that defense? It's not
far-fetched. It's just funny.
I feel like that's worse. I'd rather be far-fetched than funny.
He's like, I feel that's worse.
All right, go ahead.
So anyway, that's my ranking. So give me Philly, Washington, Dallas, close man, they right there, and then the Giants.
So yeah, I guess the odd man out is
Nigel.
Nigel, good going, Nigel. Thanks for being part of the team.
Nigel's probably the only one that's right.
You guys watch.
Nigel just made the list. Light up, Nigel. All right. So yeah. So I listen, and Nigel's not far off. I think he had Philly. You had Philly and the Giants last, right? Oh no, you had Washington last.
Yeah, I had Washington last.
All right, and Philly. But we all agree Philly is like all world.
Yeah.
By the way, just from this conversation alone, you can already see the NFL season gonna be spicy, bro. Like,
yes,
it's already
facts.
Yeah, I can't wait for that. Patty says the Commanders sound like a team name from any given Sunday.
It does.
It does.
It is
1,000% right.
So they should have just left it as the Washington football team.
It sounds like an intramural football team. Yeah, I would have went with the Washington football team. Was it almost sounded like a soccer team name. I would have went with that instead. All right, so let's get back to the next topic. Minnesota Vikings releasing Dalvin Cook, which is a little premature on that.
Viking or a Viking? What are we?
Vikings.
Okay.
We're a little premature on that because they're going to spend a couple more hours trying to trade him. But what team is going to say, "Oh, let me give you something for him" when he's going to be available to me for free?
Exactly. No one's going
to in 15 minutes. And we're hearing some other teams now, like the Broncos are in the mix. Does anybody still think he doesn't end up in Miami?
No, that's where he's going. Like it's all like Miami.
He's a Florida guy. I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah, Denver just signed a defensive end. I forgot his name for $7 million. They're not getting Cook. They're gonna roll with Melvin and all their guys over there, and they're gonna not do well because Russell is no longer a chef.
No,
door dashes. So all this let him cook ain't working. You know what I mean? So I think it's gonna be a colossal failure for them. And
Frank Clark is the guy they just signed, by the way.
You got your money. The first season when he went and won a Super Bowl, he was making $350,000 a season. and won a Super Bowl. So now you're making $40 million guaranteed, and you ain't gonna make the playoffs, but you deserve it. Like that's how it works. Like of course he's not worth that money, but it doesn't matter. They don't pay you for what you're worth. They pay you for what you're worth financially, like bringing people and all of that. But his skill level, nah. He's not doing nothing in the AFC West. Are you kidding?
Side note, this just in about 13 minutes ago, the Bleacher Report reported that 4-time Pro Bowl running back is a free agent after 6 seasons with the Vikings. So he's officially cut.
So it happened during the show? Because I know this morning when they were talking about it, they were giving it one last shot to be able to trade him. It looks like that's up. So
he's going directly to Miami.
Yep.
He already, I don't know if you guys seen it. He was tweeted or he posted on Instagram. Was one
Instagram.
Of his Instagram where he tweeted. Yeah. So he posted him leaving Miami Stadium, where did they play? Is it Hard Rock? Where did they play? Hard Rock Stadium as a member of the Vikings last year. So no other really reason to put that up there.
Yeah,
of course. To the Dolphins, unless he's trying to throw a smoke screen. I don't get how the Jets are like. There's still a lot of people say, "Oh, Jets are one of the favorite teams in the land." I don't think there's a need. I don't think that they are.
I think they agree with you because I haven't seen the Jets name anywhere connected to him in the past.
I've seen it. Somebody
originally when he first came, I was seeing it, and it said Jets, Denver, Miami. Then it went just Denver, Miami. Then the last day and a half is just Miami.
Oh, so there was I don't know who the site was. There was a site that put it this morning that had them as like plus some or minus something to get them compared to everybody else. But it was like them and Miami and the Broncos were like the top 3 teams. But I agree, they just signed Frank Clark. I don't know if there's really necessarily a need. Well, there's definitely a need at running back. I just don't think they're going to go with that. I think they're going to try to go back by committee.
The only thing you do is you get them so Miami don't get them, especially if you're the Jets.
Well, if you're the Jets, but my thing is this:
like that would be the only thing. That would be the only thing.
And you know what? Still don't go get him because if I need to add a piece on offense, you
want a receiver.
I want a receiver, and you have one of the best in the league right there, ready for you. Just open up the bank book and say, "Hey, your quarterback is Aaron Rodgers." Like he's meeting with the Tennessee Titans. Yeah. If he's meeting with the Tennessee Titans, then the Jets have got to be a team that has to interest him a little bit because who's going to throw him the ball in Tennessee? Will Levis? I mean, come on! Like there's no. If I'm him, it's got to be just to drum up his price tag that you're only going to see Tennessee Titans because why? He has no intention of signing in Tennessee. No,
I hope not.
Yeah, I don't.
Now he's meeting with Cleveland again. Unless they break the bank for him. Now he is meeting with Cleveland again. I think Cleveland actually they got the real top of my list. Yeah, they move up to the top of my list again
because Watson wants him there. And that is a nasty team if he goes there.
They're gonna be tough.
Because it's very hard to stop like offensively. Because think about it, they have a real running game, like old school running. They got Nick Chubb back there. Yep. He is no
that guy's awesome.
Yeah, right. So you gotta be in the box, and then you got Cooper and Hopkins on each side.
And Njoku's a hell of a tight end too. I mean,
that's right. Yeah. So then you got Njoku coming, man, and then Watson can also run.
Yeah.
Right, like that changes everything. Like that becomes a very, very hard team to defend with Hopkins on that team.
That's another team that's been so close.
If the Jets were to pick him up, it does the exact same thing. If I was Aaron Rodgers, I'd be screaming to get him. Like I would be like, I'm not playing if you don't go get him. I agree. Like seriously.
I'll go one step further. If they sign him, I say 100% without even fear, we're winning the division. And I put us right up there with the Chiefs to win the conference.
They would say it's the Chiefs and Jets for the AFC to represent if he went to that team, 1,000%. Because it's just even a decoy. You got to put somebody. They got to pay attention, and you got to shade your safety. Because if you don't, he's just going to point up. And God, your corner is maybe 6 foot, maybe.
Yeah.
He's pointing the ball like over you. Like it's a tragedy, man. It's
you already don't have to you already don't have to face the best corner in the league with Sauce Gardner, so there's that bonus too, right? So he's on your team. So anytime I get to give the Jets a little shine.
We know.
Joey, other than the Viking, other than the Dolphins, do you think there's any chance Cook's going anywhere else, or is it pretty much Vikings?
No, because I think ultimately I think that's where he wants to go. So if that's where he wants to go, he tells his agent,
get it done.
Make it happen. That's
and they have money under the cap. They have about $15 million under the cap.
Money under the cap, right? You're going to be in a warm climate. He ain't got to deal with that cold anymore. He's not playing on turf, and he's on a contending team.
Ain't he from Florida?
He played at Florida State too. Yeah. So
okay.
Yeah, but he loves Florida. So, and he wants to play with Tyreek and Waddle. And come on, man. Like, so I don't see, since that's what he wants to do, that's where he's going to go.
I would be surprised if he's not a Viking.
I agree.
I mean, I keep saying it.
And obviously, it makes the offense just that more potent. Yeah.
All
he's
right,
an every down back.
Yeah, and they don't have that right now. That's the one thing they're missing. That's the one they have good. Right. They have good backs like Mostert comes in and he'll come in for a spell and he can hit a home run.
12 carries a game.
And they can and you risk they can hit a home run at any given time.
And they get injured though.
Dalvin Cook's the guy that's going to keep pounding the ball that you can pound the ball in the middle.
Yeah,
he can still take it to the house 60 yards. So
he could take 25 carries a game, no problem.
And being in my division, hopefully that bulky shoulder will just have this on just a little bit of time. So, all right. So let's rank the NFC East quarterbacks. This one, we'll start off with Joey. Joey, give us your rankings of the NFC quarterbacks.
Well, obviously, Jalen Hurts obviously going to be number one, right? And then I'm going to go with, and then after that, Prescott. As much as I hate the Cowboys, the man balls out at least during the season. He chokes a bit, when it comes to late in the playoffs and stuff. And then Daniel Jones and Howell. Now, Jones, to me, I still don't understand. I'm not understanding the Giants with him and hanging on to him and giving him these extensions.
Yeah,
I just don't see it. He's kind of athletic and he's got some decent stuff to him, but I just don't I still don't understand the Jones. But whatever. So yeah, that's my thing. I mean,
Hurts, you have Jones third and Howell fourth. Is that what you have?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm in the same thing. I got Hurts. Obviously, Hurts is a top 5 quarterback in the league. Forget about his own division. So I go with Dak. Now, Dak is one of these guys. He's kind of an enigma because I felt like he's played a certain way. He played a certain style of offense his first few years in the league, and then all of a sudden it's like I feel like his decision making has gone downhill. Whether or not be the play calling, who knows? I'm not. It's not for me to decide. But I'm expecting him to have a little bit of a bounce back year this year, primarily because he kind of needs to. He's, I know they're talking about him being another guy that's ready for an extension soon, probably another year. So you're going to want to extend him, and he's going to want to. I think he's going to want to make sure he has that bag set and secured before the extension talks start. So I do think that he's going to have a better year this year than he did last year. Threw 15 interceptions last year, but only in 12 games. So it wasn't even like a full season. He missed a bunch of games.
But it's the timely interceptions in the playoffs.
And it's the timely interceptions that he. So and let's not forget the team was 4-1 in the 5 games he missed. That hurts. You know what I mean? That doesn't bode well for you trying to get an extension. Jones and Howell. I think Jones is actually trash, but one thing that's going to help him this year is I think having that tight end from Oakland or from Vegas over there now. Darren Waller's going to he'll make any quarterback look good, really, right? As long as he stays healthy, because he's had some injury concerns. Howell's the enigma or the question mark. Is Howell going to be a guy that we thought he could be coming out of North Carolina? Or is he going to be the guy that we saw that maybe that we weren't so sure about in the preseason last year? I don't know what to make of Howell yet. And that's why I got to make him fourth. Just because I don't it's too much of a question mark with him. Caleb, what's your order?
I agree with you guys. I think it's your guys are exactly spot on. You know what I mean? And I just want to give out a little something of note. Daniel Jones makes $20 million a season. Cristiano Ronaldo makes $193 million more a season.
Wait, is he making? I thought was he making closer to 40? Daniel Jones making closer to 40, isn't he?
That's ridiculous how much he makes. Daniel Jones is
just so we can look at it.
I know.
You hear $20 million a season, you're like, damn right, that's good money. How about this dude's making $193 million more than that?
Well,
a season.
Well, with Daniel Jones.
Jeez, no, I get it, but I mean, damn, his deal is $80 million for 4 years, and I don't think Daniel Jones is worth that. And
I think it's 80 over 2, isn't it?
Huh?
I thought he was getting closer to 40 million.
Over what?
I thought it was 80 for 4 years. Who knows? The point is, it's less.
Either way, it's still significant.
Exponentially less than Ronaldo. Okay?
Exactly. And no matter how overpaid Jones might be, it's still over. It's still way less than Ronaldo.
But again, Prescott, you bring up a good point. I don't think Dallas should. I mean, I feel like they kind of have to extend him, but you just gave him 100. Like I think he had like 70 million guaranteed or 90 million. He don't win. Like no.
He doesn't move the needle winning games.
No, he doesn't. He is a slightly above average quarterback. I'll give him that. Right? Slightly above average, but he's not there. And you like they needed to get Hopkins to try to give them a shot to come out the NFC. And that's just where you're talking about them in the mix. Right? So he's a nice guy. He seems to be great. I hate the team he plays on. I hate to see that blue star. But as a man, I want to see him do well. I just don't feel like he's got it. I feel like the league is so funny. It's passed him by.
Maybe he's the fourth rounder that came out of the draft that we thought he was.
He's Tony Romo 2.0.
Oh, I think Tony Romo. I think Tony Romo is better.
He wins a bunch. No, he wins a bunch of regular season games, and then can't win the big one. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
that's how I see it.
There's a lot of quarterbacks like it, but I think Tony was a better quarterback overall, though.
Maybe he was. Sure. To me, he's 2.0.
Yeah, at the end of the day,
I see what you're saying.
At the end of the day,
results are the same.
Yeah.
Nige, who do you got?
Same. I want to. I'm going to sound like a broken record, but the same.
Yeah.
Howell's in his second year, and it's like, who is he? What's this team? What
Might as well be his first year. We didn't see enough of him last year, really. Do we actually have Howell stats, Patty? Do you have Sam Howell stats?
You don't need him. Nah, at this point, you're just.
I'm just curious to myself, real quick.
You don't need him.
He only played the one game, 11 of 19. So I mean, like it's really.
Oh my
in all
God.
reality, it's his first year.
Oh
really.
my God!
He did throw a 52-yarder.
Really?
It could have been a 3-yarder for all we know. 49 yards from Terry McLaurin for all we know, but yeah. So there's that.
There you go.
What are we looking at here?
There's Daniel Jones' contract.
So what's his cap hit? Yeah. See, look, in 26, he's going to make $56 million in 26.
Guess how much money Ronaldo will make in 26?
But I mean, like, that's how much he makes in 26 minutes. That's how much Ronaldo makes in 26 minutes.
You can always go back to that.
I'm gonna compare everything to Ronaldo's money now. Like everything. It's like it doesn't matter. LeBron better look at that. Steph better look at that. Like, yo, wait a minute.
Yeah, what the?
Caleb's gonna hit it on Netflix. Hey, wait, Netflix.
I'm telling you right now, that's my point. The Saudis are gonna buy all the sport leagues.
Yeah,
you think those young boys ain't looking at that?
Yeah.
That'll make John Morant get rid of all his guns. He be like, I don't even believe in bullets no more. You know what I'm saying? Listen, that kind of money, I'm telling you, Saudis could just come, man, they're going to buy the whole, I'm telling you, they're going to own the NBA. I'm telling you. For NFL, NBA,
because these guys
MLB,
they're playing for peanuts compared to what these guys are getting paid, man.
Mike Trout broke the bank at 400-something million for 10 years.
And doesn't skip the playoffs.
That dude is one of the greatest players I've ever seen. Yeah.
He's like, come get some. I'm 400 million for a decade, baby. Ronaldo said, oh my God. oh my God. That's slave money. I could never. You know what I'm saying?
2 seasons, I'm past that.
Dude, that's insane. Like, that's what I mean. And that's all Saudi money.
Yep. They got the money.
You know what I'm saying? So it's only a matter of time. It's only a matter of time. You're going to see Juan Soto over there in Riyadh hitting home runs. I'm telling you.
I really hope it doesn't come to that, but you never
will.
know.
How can it not? You just saw the PGA fall.
Yeah, they fell big time.
Saudis own it.
But which is weird though, because I felt like they were kind of winning that battle to an extent.
No.
You don't think so?
That was the American media telling you that because they're coming out. Oh, this is wrong. War crimes.
I get that part. They
discriminate against women. How dare they? Here's $1 billion. So you know what? Listen, we get a little hasty.
But that's what I'm saying.
I mean, I can get it. I understand why you shouldn't let a woman drive a car. My wife scratches my rims all the time. Yeah. Now everybody's.
I don't even mean that. Just told that. What I'm trying to say is, I don't think it took Liv without Liv breaking the bank. I don't even know for them it's breaking the bank, but for them, without them cutting a big check to the PGA when it was just a competition, I think the PGA was still sitting on top. I don't think they were really. I think they were getting to a point where they were like
they were with the morality. They were right morally. They were right. So that's why it was feeling like they were winning right up until I bought your morality.
Which and again we talked about it before with what's Jay what's his name, the guy the one that was talking all that trash about comparing it to 9/11 and Monahan. So that's the whole thing is it just shows you his hypocrisy because he had all this trash and we won't touch on it much because he already did.
Listen,
all this trash talking and all just show me
$200 million a season. There's no conversation.
I get it. But
you can show them pictures of murders, and they'll say, "Damn, that sucks," but you can't bring them back. You can't bring them back. We should just continue.
Here's my routing number.
I just hate
routing number.
Something as legendary as the PGA have it like folding. That's my thing is.
And that's just the tip of the iceberg. I promise you.
Well, the tip hurts.
All the rest of these leagues are.
That tip hurts already. But just to see how it feels. But
bite the pillow.
But that's what I'm saying. Like to see such a legendary organization like the PGA, but to see a legendary organization of the PGA have to sell out is what I think is the part that bothers me the most. Is like they didn't like just stand strong. I'm not saying. I'm not trying to say, well, one's an American company,
if
one's
I was
not.
The Saudis, I would make shirts that just say "bite the pillow." Just bite the pillow, baby.
Love it.
You know what I'm saying? It's happening either way.
I hear you. All right. We're gonna 49ers to carry 3 quarterbacks. We already discussed what I think of this. Joey, what obviously you know who your quarterbacks are. Do you feel like this is the smartest decision? The fact that you guys can't seem to keep anybody on the field for multiple games.
After last season, I'm 100% sure they're probably going to be keeping 3 quarterbacks. We got to.
They might want to keep 5 or 6 if they could.
I listen. Shanahan will keep as many as he freaking needs to make sure he's got somebody that can throw a football if they get into the NFC Championship game again. Listen, it was really crazy for what happened last season, but everybody's healthy. Trey's healthy coming off an injury, obviously. Purdy's going to be healthy. He's been throwing the ball. He's got no pain. He's doing good. Then you got Darnold. Listen, we're going to have a season bet. There's no way Darnold's starting for that team. Not with anybody else.
He's going to start the majority of the
First of all.
But I'll tell you what. Can I say one thing before you go further? He's going to start the majority. I'm not saying he's going to start from game 1, but he's going to start the majority of the games for that team, number 1. That's what I'm saying. And number 2, I feel bad because even with all these moves they're trying to make, quarterback and this and that, and a young quarterback like Purdy, if he is the guy, your window has now closed. The window is now closed on 31 teams in this league because if you haven't heard, Rodgers is now a Jet, and we are now the team to beat. So I apologize to everybody else in advance. Your window is now closed, Joey D. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
Anyway, back to reality. Okay, we're going to get back to reality here. First of all, the only way he ends up starting a game is by injury because even if Trey starts to struggle, there's no way it's getting past Purdy. Purdy's already shown that the one thing about Purdy that his superpower is because obviously he doesn't have the strongest arm. He's not the biggest guy. He's not any of that stuff. He's decent in the pocket. He's pretty quick. His decision-making is freaking elite. I mean, he literally did it as a rookie. You give him a little more time. It's never going to get to Darnold. It's just never going to get to him. Protects the football. Needs to learn to step up in the pocket a little more. He might have been able to survive that Eagle game. But, carrying 3 quarterbacks, they're going to need to. We can't have another Josh Johnson sitting on his couch for the last 6 months like, hey, man, listen, we could use you just in case. And then, of course, just in case came about. And then we got running backs, Christian McCaffrey having to play quarterback. So, they're absolutely going to carry 3 quarterbacks. Even though they've been pumping up this other kid, Brandon Allen. He looked outstanding the first day, and the next day went like 1 for 12. So he went back to normal.
Let me ask you this then: everybody else gets hurt week by week 2. Yeah. And now it's Sam Darnold all season. You don't think that he could be this year's Geno Smith?
Why are we still here? Why are we still here?
Sorry,
no, Gene. No, nobody likes your idea. No, let's move.
So we're saying if he's the quarterback of the 49ers are done?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, listen,
I can't wait for the crow.
I'm not going to disrespect Shanahan like that.
Yeah,
right?
I was going to say.
So here's what I'll say. He'll have to adjust what he's planning to do this season, he'll have to adjust it to make it fit for Sam Darnold. That's what he'll have to do.
Yeah. He'll say,
Hopefully he
Sam,
does
make
better
sure you throw the
adjustments
ball
than he
here.
did.
No, that's how Shanahan is. Make sure you throw the ball here on this play. You throw the ball here. The team will take care of the rest.
That's
the only thing I can think of.
So will he be next year's Geno Smith if he plays 15 games?
No,
I don't think so. I think Geno has shown he's pretty decent, man. You know,
I think Sam has that ability to too.
I'm not saying he doesn't have the ability. Unfortunately, Sam's career was wrecked by a lot of bad teams when he first came in.
Bad coaching. Adam
And that it can. We talked about this before. Players can have that potential and just get ruined real early because of either the team that they're on or the coaching and the way that they're handled. So yeah, he's got ability. Every player in the NFL's got ability. The practice squad guys got the water boys in the NFL got ability. Everybody got ability. But when the rubber meets the road, that's just kind of where it's been. Again, I've seen him play very well in stints, but he kind of reminds me of, ironically, FitzMagic is what he reminds me of. He can play really good for like 6-7 games, and then the normalness and the averageness comes back. So I guess we'll have to see, because in Shanahan's offense, you have to be able to make decisions. If you don't, you will struggle, like even Trey did, because he didn't play enough football. He doesn't know how to make decisions like that.
Yeah.
Jimmy was good because Jimmy could make decisions. His body just physically, he was not gifted enough to make some of the throws you need to make. Darnold is gifted enough. He's just, I don't know if his decision making is good enough. I got to see more.
Well, I guess we will. What do you think, Nigel?
I think I'm ready for the last topic, man.
All right. Let's get on to it. Ranking the NFC East coaches.
Oh, dang it. No, let's stay on the 3 QBs. Dang it.
Caleb, give me your ranking.
Okay, I think Sirianni at the top, but a really close second is I think I'm gonna have to go with Rivera. Really close second. I think Brian did his thing, and it's hard to diss McCarthy like that. I think McCarthy always gets out-coached. I think he's gotten by because he had Aaron frickin' Rodgers, right? And so now he doesn't, and you're seeing him how you get exposed as a coach during these games. Shanahan out-coached him in that San Francisco-Dallas game because the game was actually close, right? Like it wasn't. And Dak, yes, he threw his picks, and I get it. At inopportune moments, that's his decision making, but it's also part of the play calling. And McCarthy, he punts the ball all the time. You're the head coach. Make the final decision. Oh no, go ahead, Wonder Boy, call the play. Like, so now he's saying, okay, now I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna call the play. Okay, right? Like so I'm not a big McCarthy fan, but I hate to make him last.
Yeah.
But I just feel, I know he's not better than Ron Rivera. Rivera just has the worst groceries to play with.
He does.
Back up. He has the worst quarterback. So it ruins everything. You know what I mean? But Rivera, I think, is actually the better coach out of them all. He just doesn't have the team to like show it. Sirianni could be as bad as anybody else, but he got freaking, I mean, it's insane. You know what I mean? So it's hard to be a bad coach when you got players that could just bail you out like that. Like, he's surrounded by greatness. So, you know, he wins that by default. But I think I would say personally Rivera is the best coach in that division. But it would be Sirianni, Rivera, McCarthy, Double. But it's hard to do that to Double because he did great for the Giants last year. They went 9-7. Like New York, they were expected to be nothing, and they performed above what they were supposed to. So that's it's Sirianni, Rivera, and then everybody else is 3. They're just tied for 3rd. There's no 4th.
All right.
Sorry.
Are you good?
Yeah, you good. Joy said it. You good. Same. Honestly, I feel the exact same way. I think Riviera is a boss. I really do. It's just he just can't make a lasagna out of the ingredients he has, man. It's hard to do anything, but he's still in the mix all the time. And yeah, I just feel I would say McCarthy's the lesser for me, just because Dallas just can't do anything. They just can't do anything else.
I feel like for the rankings that we've been doing so far this year, these last few episodes, I feel like this is the hardest one to rank to me. Because I think each coach has a good part of their resume where you say, Sirianni, he's got a Super Bowl championship already. Rivera has been to a Super Bowl, has always overachieved with underachieving with lesser players. Right. Dable is a lot like Shanahan in the sense of just a good offensive mind. You saw what he meant to Josh Allen in Buffalo, and then he leaves Buffalo, and all of a sudden Josh Allen is not what he was a couple of years prior. And you've seen, not that I think that Daniel Jones is great, but you've seen improvement for Daniel Jones. McCarthy obviously has a winning pedigree from being in Green Bay. Was it him or was it Rodgers? Was it both of them? Who knows? So to me, this was the hardest division or the hardest category so far for me to rank. I feel like these guys could be in a different division, could be the number one coach in a couple of other divisions. I put Rivera number one.
Okay.
Based on the fact that I feel like he always overachieves.
He's a better coach. He's a real coach.
Yeah, and that's exactly what it is. I think he's just a good coach, and he dealt with a lot of adversity over the last few years. We're going to look at when he was 7-10, 5-7. He was also going through a cancer diagnosis at that point in his career.
Yep.
So let's not forget about that the man was dealing with cancer and coaching an NFL football team.
Never forgotten.
So that's what I'm saying. So that's got to count for something. I think if he had a good quarterback, who knows? Could you imagine if he had a top 10 quarterback on his team?
If he had Dak Prescott, they would be doing a lot better. I'm not the biggest Dak fan. If they even had him, it would be a different story.
So I got him number one. Number two, this was the hardest part for me is and I don't even know. I kind of flip flop on them. So I'm going to give you them both because I don't know if I go 2 or 3 with these guys. I kind of go back and forth because I think what they've done is remarkable. Is Dable and Sirianni. I think Dable took over a Giants team that was trash. But if you look how much he meant as the OC for Buffalo for Josh Allen, he developed Josh Allen. There was a reason why he was the last out of that group of quarterbacks to be picked, and all those wrinkles in his game, Dable was able to iron out and make him a All-Pro quarterback, one of the top quarterbacks in the league. That was all Brian Dable because when he leaves, well, now he doesn't look as great as he did the last year, right? Almost losing to Miami in the playoffs with a third-string quarterback. All that. So he's not who he once was. And Sirianni, I mean, the man's coming off a Super Bowl title. So how do you not put him up?
No, he lost. He doesn't have a
ring. I'm sorry, you're right. But I meant NFC title. I'm sorry, NFC title.
Doug Peterson won that title for us.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. No, I'm talking about as the coach right now.
With my boy St. Nick. Don't forget Nick Foles.
Yeah.
We always got love here, baby. St. Nicholas.
But I'm saying last year, I meant to say NFC title. So and a game where they were in that game, they could have won that game in the Super Bowl. Like they were right there. So
that was that call by the ref. Oh God, it's
still living it down. I get it. McCarthy I put in last, and again McCarthy has got a great pedigree. But even when he was available to coach the Jets, when everyone thought he might be the Jets coach when he was after he left Green Bay, I didn't want him. He wasn't the guy I wanted. I'm glad we didn't jump the gun on that because I think he's an overrated coach. I think he's a coach that kind of in the same breath we said with Rivera. Rivera has always overachieved with lesser players. I feel like McCarthy kind of underachieves with greater players, and so I that's where I put
one
him
title with Aaron Rodgers in his prime is a travesty.
That's what I'm saying. So I go Rivera, Dable, Sirianni neck and neck, and then McCarthy in fourth. Joey, who do you got?
So for me, I gotta give Sirianni his props, man, because even though Ron Rivera might be overall like a better coach, Sirianni still has to coach these players, and the players have to you got to get everything to mesh and gel because we've seen teams, including when Snyder bought a couple times tried in Washington where they just gave out as much money as they could and put all the best players they could. And still couldn't win anything. Your coach still has to be able to do that. So I think, listen, going back to, I think it was 2013, 2012, the Niners had a really good roster, but they were horrible under Mike.
Singletary?
No, they were horrible under him too, but no, he drafted really well, but he couldn't coach head coaches to save his life. Mike, he was the defensive coordinator, was a really good coordinator. But I cannot. Mike Knowles. So Mike Nolan.
There we go.
Nolan. So, but it's funny. As soon as my man got in there the next year, coming from college football, the team went literally from worst to first, and then they were in the Super Bowl and a couple of NFC Championship games. So it just shows you that coaching obviously that big of a deal.
Yeah.
Belichick shows you that. So I got to give Sirianni that. Even if he might be just under Rivera, I got to give him that until he doesn't. I mean, he just got him to a Super Bowl, so close to winning one right out the gate. And then Rivera's going to be my second. Obviously, he doesn't have as good a roster, and he's been successful pretty much everywhere he's gone. And then after that, I probably would put Dable over McCarthy, just because McCarthy, it's true. I think he seems to underachieve with better players. It's just weird. So it's just always been like that with him. The only thing with Dable is that he's a really good coach. He turned a team that was expected to be really bad and had a really good season, ended up being 9-7. They were a good. The NFL catches up very quick. I need to see more than just one season. So I got to see if he can replicate that. I
don't think he will. I'm going to stop there.
He might not. But fun fact for you: the last 2 Super Bowls the Giants won, their record was 9-7, both of those years. So they have never been outstanding record holders for the regular season. They always seem to be. They just scrap their way in and then get hot during the playoffs, and they do that. So I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I'm not sure, but I got to see it again. And maybe they don't.
I don't think they'll be bad. I think maybe 7. Like what they win? They win. What did they finish last year? Was it 9-8, 10-7?
Yeah,
something like that.
No, they were 9-7 last year. The Giants.
Well, they we're missing a game, so they were either 9 and they were 10-7 or 9-8, something like that. But either way, I think they take a step back from where they were last year. A slight, like I don't blame that necessarily on Dable. I blame that on them not having enough pieces on the rest to fill out the rest of that squad and other teams catching up to that. I do think he's a tremendous offensive brain.
No question. Listen, no question. I mean, obviously, the difference with Josh Allen when he left, and obviously Josh Allen has to account for some of that too. It can't just be who's calling the plays, because you still got to make the decision.
And he looks like a defensive coach, doesn't he?
He does.
Yeah. He looks like Bam Bigelow.
He doesn't look like a head coach. I don't even know what a head coach would look like, but it's true. He doesn't look like a.
He does not look like an offensive genius, but he looks more like a defensive mastermind. But yeah, so there we go with that. So give me your top 4 one more time, Joey.
Oh, Sirianni, Rivera, Dable, and McCarthy.
I think Nigel, did you have McCarthy in last too? Did we all have McCarthy last?
Yep.
I think we did, right? So
that one we might have all been kind of right there, except for Eugene, of course.
Well, no, I said McCarthy last.
No, you said that last, but you're like Sirianni. He could be third.
Again, I need to see more from Sirianni. I think Sirianni is definitely a good coach. He's hard to like personally. If he's not the coach of your team, he's hard to like. He reminds me of Rex Ryan. Rex Ryan coached the Jets. As Jet fans, we love them, but you can understand why every other team couldn't stand.
Really? I don't really see Sirianni in that.
Maybe it's just the New York market because we hate Philly so much. Every time he opens his mouth, we're like, "Oh, I hate that guy." So maybe that's more of what it is. I don't know. But that's gonna do it for the show this week, guys, or for today and for the week, as it turns out. We are on our getaway day. It's Friday. No show Monday. We'll be back Tuesday next week. But you know what? Without that, I guess let's do our last words, man. And also go enjoy the fight this weekend. Wait, before we go have the second video that I like to play just for Matt Hamilton at home. Matt Hamilton, this video is for you.
He's trying to bunt for a base hit, and they better hope this one goes foul. And it is not going to.
On the Blue Jays quite literally suck.
Shout out to Patty. Patty wins the day, man. We've had a couple bangers today. Today's been an amazing pod, but
I'll tell you what I'm feeling. I'm feeling the fact that we're getting back into football talk, and you can feel the juices. There's definitely a little bit more excitement when we talk some footbal, so I'm excited for it. Yeah. So let's get into our last words of the day. Nigel, last words of the week.
Hey, it might be a little cloudy over here in North America, in the general weather.
Yeah. Thanks, Canada, for the smog in New York.
Also, I turned into a meteorologist immediately. I don't know how that happened. Listen, it's a little gray here in Toronto, but you know what? That's not going to stop me from smiling and having a good day. So if you are here in the city, make sure to give somebody a high five. And if you are north of the border or south of the border, make sure you give them a high five as well. But you know what? I think I'm gonna buy a hat today.
Yeah. Love it. Yes, sir. I love it. Joey D, last words.
Yeah, man, everybody just, I know it's Friday. Enjoy your weekend. Should be nice. Enjoy the game tonight. Make sure you check out the NBA and stuff. Yeah, more importantly, be sure to tell somebody you love them.
That's right.
Caleeb, last words.
All right, everybody. Have a great weekend. Spread love. It's the Brooklyn way. And please, please, please do not forget to bite the pillow.
Last words from me, guys. Have a great today, a better weekend, and we will see you on Tuesday.
That's the pop off for today, folks. Thank you to all of our listeners, as well as our producers, Patty Puddles and Fareed Kameo. And make sure you tune in tomorrow to hear what these hooligans will pop off about next.